Dear students, the subject matter of sociology was introduced to you in the previous classes, and you are familiar with certain basic concepts of sociology now. In today's class, we are going to study an important but also a serious topic. We all come across social situations in which we observe people with all comforts of life and at the same time people who strive very hard to get their livelihood. We observe people high in social status and also those who are socially depressed. This is what we call the rich and the poor. We also notice highly literate men and at the same time illiterate who have not the opportunity to go to school at all. At this point, a slightly philosophical question of why this kind of differentiation is found in the humanity in the same world flashes in our mind. This is what we are going to study in this class. This sociology lesson explains to you what is differentiation, why there is differentiation, how are societies stratified broadly, and also some sociological theories explaining social stratification. In all forms of societies, some kind of differentiation prevails because human beings are not endowed with the same qualities and talents. Differences are inherent in social life. Perfect equality cannot exist in any form of society. Even primitive societies had differentiation on the basis of sex, age or occupation. Therefore, unstratified society with total equality of its members is a myth that has never been realized in the human history. In all societies, its members are placed in positions higher or lower, superior or inferior, privileged or unprivileged. This kind of differentiation has led to the formation of established social stratification. Then, what is social stratification? First, we will understand the reasons for differentiation. Human societies are heterogeneous. People are different from each other in their characters, mental abilities, talents and physical capacities. Their intelligence also differs at different times. Each person is unique in these qualities. The demands and the requirements of these societies also differ at different points of time. Men are placed at high or low level depending on their ability to meet the demands of his own society. For example, in certain societies at certain point of time there will be a need for agriculturalists. As time passes on, there may be a demand for scientists. Sometimes there will be a need for doctors. So, depending on these needs, the stratification will vary at different points of time. Now, we will see the basis for differentiation. And what basis do these differentiations are made? There are many causal factors that form the basis of this differentiation at different periods and in different forms of societies. But there are three important factors that underlie as the causes for differentiation. They are possessions, qualities and performances. The first one is possessions. Money, property and other material possessions are not equally distributed among people. Those who possess it are privileged and they command respect in society. People are stratified or differentiated according to their possessions like houses, land, jewels, vehicles and other valuable material things. The second one is qualities. Individual human beings are endowed with certain abilities and capabilities to perform different activities. Their intelligence to do activities also differ from person to person. Highly educated persons are made to occupy good status, while less educated are placed at an inferior position. Sometimes persons with appealing philosophies and religious teachings command high status with large number of followers. The third one is performance. Execution of task in a good style or performing a task that is highly valued in the society differentiates people from one another. The society regards those roles highly important. These roles are rewarded than certain other roles in the social life that are less important for the society. Hence, the performers of such valued roles are appreciated, while people doing less demanded roles are not placed at a high status. These are three factors that are closely related. The merits are awarded based on the demand for that quality at that period and in that particular society. The term stratification denotes the condition in which such layers or strata of persons or groups are ranked differently over a considerable period of time. Social stratification refers to how groups are ranked in society according to their possession of resources of different kind. It may be wealth, intelligence or prestige. Stratification is an ongoing process of sorting out people into different levels of access to resources. The inequality is justified by cultural norms and supported by religious beliefs. Diversity and inequalities are inherent in society. Societies arrange their members in various hierarchies. Placing of people in vertical scale of evaluation, that is strata or layers, is called stratification. People in the higher stratum of society enjoy more power and prestige. The people placed at the lower level do not have power and status. According to Jeanne H. Ballantine and Keith A. Roberts, three main assumptions underlie the concept of stratification. The first one is that people are divided into ranked categories. Secondly, there is an unequal distribution of desired resources and some members of the society possess more of what is valued and others possess less. And finally, each society determines what it considers to be valued resource. For instance, in our country, there was a great demand for medical doctors at one point of time, but later on it changed to engineers. Then later on there was a demand for IT professionals. So, like this the demand for certain positions will vary at different point of time. Similarly, in certain countries political power is considered to be highly important, and in certain other countries the race forms the basis of stratification. Now, we will see some of the definitions of social stratification. According to Melvin Tuman, social stratification refers to arrangements of any social group or society into a hierarchy of positions that are unequal with regard to power, property, social evaluation and psychic gratification. There is another important definition given by Ogburn and Nimkoff, who define social stratification as the process by which individuals and groups are ranked in a more or less enduring hierarchy of status. According to Gisbert, social stratification is the division of society into permanent groups or categories linked with each other by the relationship of superiority and subordination. So far, we have been talking about stratification in its basic form and some definitions of social stratification, and now I will explain to you the characteristic features of social stratification. Melvin Tuman explains the main attributes of stratification. I will explain these attributes one by one. Stratification is a social factor. There may be lots of differences between people. For example, there may be variations in sex, age or intelligence. We may observe them even overtly, but mere difference will not be counted as stratification. These differences by themselves are not sufficient to divide the society into strata. There should be social approval for assigning status to people. Tuman points out that social stratification is governed by social norms and sanctions, relatively stable, but likely to change under social circumstances, and it is intimately connected with the other systems of society like political, family, religion and education. The second attribute is stratification is ancient. Historical records show the presence of stratification system from the very early period of mankind. In early societies, sex and age were the major criteria of stratification. In the hunting period, the men were out for hunting animals, while women were to stay back, rearing children at home. In certain societies, the eldest male or female member was placed as the head of the joint family. This is what we called as the patriarchate and matriarchate societies. Philosophies of Plato, Aristotle and Kautilya have explained the inevitability of divisions in the society because it is based on the talent and occupation. For example, Plato says that society is formed because of the different kind of occupations performed by differently talented people. The person who was able to command the whole nation was made as the king. The person who was good at business was the businessman. Then later on, some people who were not endowed with any talent, but could do only unskilled work were stratified at the lowest place of the stratification system. The next quality of stratification is that it is universal. Social stratification is a worldwide phenomena. Sorokin has pointed out that all permanently organized groups are stratified. All societies are stratified on the basis of some criteria unique to it. The next one is that stratification prevails in diverse forms. That is, we cannot find the same kind of stratification in all forms of societies throughout the world. It differs from society to society, country to country. Stratification system of a society is likely to change over a period of time. Here we are pointing out the time factor not only in society, that is different kinds of society, but at different points of time we are likely to change that stratification system. It has never been uniform in all the societies. Under changing circumstances and philosophies that govern the society, the criteria for stratification also changes. For instance, in ancient India, Varnashrama Dharma was the stratification system. People were identified as Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras, which was based on their occupation. In present society, many variations are found and class system is obvious. In certain African and American societies, race was the basis of differentiation. People were looked as free men and slaves, but this system has been transformed drastically. The next attribute is social stratification is consequential. Stratification is not sheerly a mode of differentiating people with characters, but it is consequential. It leaves many social consequences. They are lifestyles and life chances consequences. What is lifestyle consequence? Lifestyles include such as housing, education and comforts of life. Then what is life chances? Life chances refers to such factors like mortality, conflict, delinquency and divorce that occur in the society due to various factors. Now students, we have talked about several factors relating to social stratification, and now we have come to the important part of social stratification, that is theories of social stratification. We have very interesting explanations of social stratification through theories. Different explanations have been developed by different sociologists on social stratification. These explanations of social ranking range from individual micro level to national or meso level and then global macro level theories. That is, there are three kinds of theories: one micro level, two meso level and the third one is macro level theories. First we will explain micro level theory. Micro level theory includes symbolic interaction. Symbolic interaction theory helps us understand how individuals learn and live their positions in society through symbols. Symbols often represent social positions. For example, clothing indicates the economic background of the individual. The ownership of vehicles, a motor car or a motorbike, show the affluence of the individual using it. These factors enable the actor and the alter to act and react in a particular fashion, providing ideas to assess his strata. Social groups have norms learned by members through socialization process. These norms are recognized within that group. People learn what is expected in their groups and in family as social class through interaction with others. This process transmits and perpetuates social ranking. By learning our position in the social stratum, we learn social values, speech patterns, habits, status groups and even our own self-concept. On seeing a family living in a pavement and eating outside the hut will reveal their status to an adult traveling in a luxury car and what level of relationship he can maintain with them by referring his own status in his mind. I will give you few more examples to this. In Indian society, wearing a bindi will provide a person that individual or that lady is married. This is symbolically informed to the other person. There is one more example that could be quoted. The national flag of any country will command respect from the citizens of that country. And thirdly, there could be gestures which could universally indicate certain meanings to the people. For example, showing V, that indicates victory. Now, we will see the second level theories, that is meso level theory. Meso level theories include structural functional theory. In structural functionalism, stratification within societies is inevitable and also necessary. It explains that stratification provides individual or group a position in the social world. It helps individuals to function properly in his own roles by prescribing the expected modes of behavior. Kingsley Davis and Wilbert Moore provide some explanations to this. The first explanation given by them is the positions in society are neither equally valued nor equally easy to perform. Here they are pointing out two important factors. One is the value given to the position and the way of performing it. Some positions are valued high because they are tough to perform and also very important to the social life. For example, the occupational position of a doctor, they have to gain technical knowledge and also their position in the society is very, very important. The second one is the preparation for these roles require money, time and also talent. Thirdly, the differences in the reward they receive in turn of their work lead to the unequal distribution of resources. More difficult the role, more will be the reward in terms of money, power or prestige. Functional theory was popular in mid 20th century and in 21st century new criteria and demands like information technology and scientific innovation led to the formation of new elite groups with new ideologies. The society also started experiencing conflict over distribution of resources. At the higher level, we have the macro level theories. Macro level theory includes conflict theory. Conflict theory explains stratification as the outcome of struggle for dominance and scarce resources, with some individuals taking advantage of others. Self-interest of groups is dominant in this situation and they try to exploit the other group, resulting in the inevitable struggle between them. There was a tremendous gap between the rich and the poor during the industrialization and economic transformation. Karl Marx considered that the stratification consists of two major economically based social classes, that is the haves and the have-nots. This was the result of capitalism according to Karl Marx. There is an overt difference in the lifestyle of the haves and the have-nots. There was a struggle over the resources that resulted in the conflict between the two classes. The haves controlled the means of production, while the have-nots had to work for them. According to Karl Marx, this struggle between the bourgeois and the proletariats would result in a classless society, but no classless society has emerged so far. Dear students, so far I have explained to you what social stratification means in sociology, the basis for differentiation, that is possession, qualities and performance, and also I have explained to you how social stratification has been explained in theories. I explained 3 theories, the micro level theories, macro level theories and meso level theories. I explained to you its features, and also I have given you some definitions of stratification. I will pose to you some questions. What are the definitions of stratification? 2. Why are societies stratified, and what are the basis of stratification? Give examples. The third one is, what are the theories of social stratification? Dear students, so far I have explained what we mean by social stratification and how it is introduced to you in sociology, how social stratification has been explained in theories, its structures and definitions. In the next class, we shall discuss different types of stratification systems and social mobility.